Everyone, welcome to the show. I have some updates to share about the numerous investigations into Donald Trump's alleged crimes. So first, you guys know that Christina Bobb, Trump's attorney, met with the Justice Department investigators last Friday, and she threw Trump's other attorney, Evan Corcoran, under the Trump train, as well as Boris Epshteyn. So what we all knew was that Bob was the one who signed that infamous attestation back in June that stated that after a thorough search of Mar-a-Lago, no other government documents or other items were found. Well, as we all know, that was complete and utter BS because the FBI search turned up a ton of new government documents, including almost 100 additional highly classified documents on top of what was already turned over. So Bob was in the hot seat. She was facing potentially obstruction of justice charges. So when she met with the DOJ, she explained that another Trump attorney, Boris Epshteyn, called her the night before she signed the document, and he asked her to be at Mar-a-Lago the next day. He told her that it had to do with something legal for Trump, something he needed, but it sounded like they were very vague about what they wanted her there for. And then Epshteyn put her in touch with Evan Corcoran, the other attorney, who eventually met her at Mar-a-Lago the next day. Corcoran asked her to sign the document that he drafted, and Corcoran, according to Christina Bobb, assured her that he had conducted an exhaustive search of Trump's storage facility. And according to two people who heard this directly from Bob's own mouth, they heard her version of what went down. She said that basically she was suspicious, but she didn't fully grasp what this whole document request, what this whole issue was about at that point. Bob also told investigators that she heard Trump tell Corcoran that, oh, just cooperate with the DOJ, give them whatever they want. But we all know how Trump plays those games. But Bob obviously fell for it. She obviously still thinks that Trump is a good person and an honest person. And now she is Trump roadkill. If two attorneys are urging you to sign a document that they themselves could sign, but they're not doing it, you should probably ask yourself why. There's a reason that Epshteyn and Corcoran were unwilling to put their own names on it. So it looks like she fell for their self-serving game as well, just like she did with Trump. I'm thinking she doesn't really have the best judgment. In other classified document news, the DOJ has filed a response in regard to Trump's request to the Supreme Court. So you guys may know Trump asked the Supreme Court to step in and overturn a lower court's ruling. It's in the 11th Circuit Appeals Court had ruled that the classified documents didn't need to be reviewed by Trump's special master. Well, Trump has asked them to overturn that decision. Trump's team is arguing that no, the special master should have to review these classified documents. So we'll see what happens with that. You know, we've got this alt-right authoritarian majority on the court. In attempted coup news, an ethics complaint has been filed against Kenneth Chesebro. Chesebro is one of the people who's believed to be one of the very earliest architects of the fake elector scheme to overturn the election. He is under investigation in Georgia. He's also being investigated by the DOJ for this role that he played in the attempted coup. Well, several dozen high-profile legal figures have now submitted an ethics complaint to New York's Attorney Grievance Committee. And they're asking for, quote, appropriate sanctions. And they said that he acted, this means Chesebro, acted with, quote, dishonesty, fraud, deceit, or reckless or intentional misrepresentation. This same group is responsible for Rudy Giuliani's suspension, and they're also responsible for the investigation into Attorney John Eastman. And this is the second complaint filed against Chesebro. The first was filed by the group called 65 Project. You guys may recall they're the ones that have been trying to get lawmakers tossed out of office for taking part in the insurrection. So they filed a complaint back in July. And so far, the only thing that's happened is an investigator has been assigned, nothing else. In January 6th investigation news, remember to tune in tomorrow or set your DVR. You're going to want to catch the January 6th committee hearing. It might be the last one, but they're being very vague. It might not. It will air live tomorrow at 10 a.m. Pacific time, 1 p.m. Eastern. Also, it was just reported that the Secret Service has now given them more than 1 million electronic communications. And there were two sources who told NBC News that the records are from the days leading up to the Capitol attack, as well as from January 6th. And Secret Service Special Agent Steve Kopech told NBC, quote, "While no additional text messages were recovered, we have provided a significant level of details from emails, radio transmissions, Microsoft Teams chat messages, and exhibits that address aspects of planning, operations, and communications surrounding January 6th. So we'll see what that yields. In regard to the E. Jean Carroll defamation lawsuit against Trump, he's scheduled to testify in a deposition next Wednesday, October 19th. He is pulling his typical BS, trying to stall this whole thing out. Fortunately, the judge completely sees through his game. U.S. District Judge Lewis Kaplan denied Trump's request to delay his deposition next week. And the judge said, quote, "Completing those depositions, which already have been delayed for years, would impose no undue burden on Mr. Trump, let alone any irreparable injury." Judge Kaplan also wrote, quote, "As this court previously has observed, Mr. Trump has litigated this case since it began in 2019 with the effect and probably the purpose of delaying it." So Trump will appear next week as scheduled. So I will let you guys know if anything gets leaked, if we get any insight into what was asked, what was answered, hopefully. Anyway, guys, that is it for now. I'll let you know when I hear more. Thanks so much for watching and listening. Take care, and I'll talk with you soon.